Everybody, Ron Cecil here, men's coach, helping spiritual men fix their fucked up marriages.
And he does that very well.
if you've been watching my channel for a while, you've heard me talk about my wife, Morgan. Here she is.
Hello, everybody.
And the reason I brought her today is because we've been doing something together for the last several years. Gosh, I want to say 7-8 years, maybe a bit longer. That's been a good element. I think saying a good element is an understatement, but I also don't want to go as far as saying it's like the secret to our success. It's somewhere in there. It's one of the tools that we have in our relationship, in our marriage, that has brought a high quality of life. And more than that, it's given us the ability to really connect and to give us a sense of purpose and a sense of direction in our relationship, in our family, and even as professionals. So we're going to talk today a little bit about how that's evolved over the years, what you can do by taking the small things that we do to this day and hopefully fit them into your own life. But before I start, I want to ask my wife, was there any other details that you thought I should add?
Yeah, the goal is connection. I would say what we long for as human beings is connection, especially in our most sacred relationship. And it's hard after the years. You have kids, you have a lot of responsibilities, you have a lot of demands on your time, and it's way too easy just to begin the day and rush into your to-do list and rush into all the demands you have on your time. And it's easy to miss out on these opportunities to deeply connect to each other and to yourself and to God, which those three connections, like when you have that going on in your life, you feel invincible. And that's what this morning routine, if we call it that, has given me. One of the things is that feeling of deep connection to my husband, connection to myself, and a connection to God that allows me to enter into the day feeling powerful and excited.
Yeah. So I think that if there's any other thing that you want to remember why you're here, it's because what you're doing right now isn't working. Like she said, just getting up and rushing right into your day without being centered and without connecting with one another leaves you feeling frazzled. And by the end of the day, if you're a normal human, all you look forward to is checking out again, whether it's your glass of wine, your little bit of weed, or your TV or screens or whatever it is. So this is a way that can help you get set up for having purpose in your day, having connection, and feeling like you are getting something of value out of who you are and the connection that you have and life in general. There's some simple elements to this morning routine for us, and it's ritualistic. And I'll tell you exactly what we're doing right now because it's, I think, among the simplest of what we've done in the past, and it's easily repeatable. And so you can do this. So what we do is we use an app called Pray As You Go. Pray As You Go is put on by the Jesuits of Great Britain. It's a Catholic organization. And it's anywhere from a 9 to 15 minute guided meditation and reflection using the Bible and using some Lectio Divina, in other words, guided meditation to think about what you're hearing and what you're listening to. So we listen to that, and the nice thing about that app is that it gives you the space to think about what you're doing and then the space to pray about what you're hearing. So we use that space as a time to literally pray together. And we pray about what the teachings are talking about, and we pray about our family, we pray for one another, we pray about our day coming ahead, we pray about the week coming ahead, we pray about our business. We just try to cover all the bases. And we also sit in silence and we try to listen to what the divine is telling us. If you've never done that before, it's really simple. You throw a question out to the universe and you listen. And when you listen with your whole being and with your heart and with your body, and you might feel something, it may be an emotion like a feeling of peace or joy. It might be a sense of urgency that you need to get something done. You might mentally see a picture in your mind or a process that needs to happen. You may get nothing. And nothing is probably 70% of what happens to me. But the point is, it's a discipline that you start to bring into the day for your body and your mind and your spirit to have direction. Anything you wanted to add to that part?
I would say what makes it really magical as a couple is I get to hear Ronnie's prayers. I get to hear the desires of his heart, what he's wrestling with. He gets to hear from me the desires of my heart, what I'm wrestling with, what's occupying a lot of space in my mind, and because we pray out loud together. And at first it was awkward. I would say this is important to know, that when you begin a new routine, it's always going to feel a bit awkward, especially when you're doing something that requires a great deal of vulnerability and intimacy, even with yourself. So that piece when you're just listening, that meditation piece where you ask a question, maybe put your hand on your heart and just listen, that is a really important place to begin. Because I know a lot of the women that I work with, one of the things they struggle with is knowing what they want.
Yeah.
So when you don't even know what you want, it's hard and scary to articulate that to your partner. So that listening piece is crucial, and then the magic is being able to hear your partner speak from their heart what it is that they want, what it is that they're desiring, what it is that they're afraid of, what it is that they're worried about. Yeah, it's magical and it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that's why it's magical.
That's right. The magic is in the vulnerability. Really, there's not much more to this than this ritual. After that, we separate and we go about our day. I take my dog for a walk. In that walking is when I do my own prayer. It's when I start to get into some meditation. There's another element to this I think is important to include, and that is we get our thoughts for the day and our thoughts about what's going on, and that's down on paper. So we sometimes do that side by side, sometimes we do that separately. And whether we write it out, whether it is just processing our thoughts or it's a creative endeavor, we spend time, and this has been repeated ad nauseum, so there's a reason people talk about it, because it works. And that is, get your thoughts on paper, whether it's a journal, whether you're writing poetry, whether you're writing fiction, or whether you're just journaling. Do that. And you're gonna notice that you're gonna have less clutter in your mind. It's gonna feel like you are closing tabs on a browser. You know, when you've got like 20 tabs open on a browser and it's like bogging your computer down, and you think, I'm gonna go back to it, but you're not gonna go back to it. It's like that for your brain. So that's it.
Actually, can I add a piece?
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's really
one
important.
more piece.
This is a piece that I think that is missing from most people who have a morning routine that may be similar. If you are already praying, if you're already journaling, if you're already meditating.
Cold showers?
No, it's
Which I do also.
Yeah, cold showers are great. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan and a fan.
Never like it.
Never like it, but always
feel good
on the other
afterwards.
side. No, but it's this part. When Ronnie and I are praying together in the morning, when we are meditating, when we are listening to each other, we are very close. We are seated so close. I can feel his heat. Usually my hand is in his hand. And that physicality, that sensuality is a big part of this, of the deep connection, of the unspoken, of the how it serves the unconscious mind, and letting both of us know, our nervous systems know, that it's safe to be vulnerable. It's safe to be in this space together, the sacred space with God. There's a lot of elements of sensuality in our morning routine. When we begin, everyone drinks coffee or tea or something. This is a ritual element. It's here we begin. And that heat in our hands, the way that he serves it to me, it's so sweet. And every single morning,
The tea,
it's like,
I
oh,
bring her.
yes. I think part of what makes prayer, meditation so difficult and so boring is when it's not embodied and we're just feeling like we are doing what we're supposed to do. We are checking off a box. We are, we're not connecting to it deeply. And so a big part of this morning routine is, like I said, is how it connects me to myself. And myself includes my body, and the sensual elements of this morning routine are the glue that holds it all together.
Yeah.
It's the vulnerability that makes it magic, and the sensuality that makes it like, it's so nourishing to both of us. Yeah?
It is, 100%. And there's one more element to this. If you are not a religious person, that's okay. You don't need to use prayer or this app that we use. But there is something you could do. You could go use Sam Harris's app on meditation. I think it would serve the same purpose, which is a time for you to be together, a time for you to listen to the same thing and to reflect on the same thing, and to have that space of solitude, of quiet, and of reflecting. So whether you're religious or not, you can do the same thing.
Yeah. Maybe to sum it up, the elements are sensuality, vulnerability, and shared experience. And anything else? Or does that sum up the shared experience? Does that sum up the sharing part?
I think that's about it. It's simple. It's like 30 minutes.
On the weekends, you can linger a little bit longer
Yeah.
whenever you have more time, and maybe you stroll into a walk and enjoy each other's company a little bit longer.
Yeah. So if you have had a struggle like most couples in connecting and feeling like you don't know where to start, and maybe there's too much resentment or too much baggage in the past, I encourage you to let that go as best as you can. Like really practice forgiving and letting that water go under the bridge. you will experience more connection in this process. You will experience a better capacity for forgiveness, a better capacity for love. You will experience more enjoyment being around one another because you support. If you feel the support in this process, you feel more loved. Morgan mentioned touching, just the hormonal response of touching. She's got her hand on my leg right now.
You don't know what's going on underneath this table. They don't.
So wherever you are, you got to start somewhere. And I would say the other part that we left out of this is that it takes time and it takes consistency for this. But we have found that over time, life gets better. Every time we get frazzled and lost in our relationship and lost in what we're doing in our life, we think, what were we doing when everything felt right? And one of the things, in fact, one of the primary things is having this morning routine of connection and prayer. That is a primary tool that we use and has always been an essential element to when we feel good and we're having success and getting good things done in life.
Yeah, in case you're new to Ronnie's channel or to our work,
Ronnie is me.
I call
Ron
him.
to you.
We came out of the evangelical church. So if you are on that journey too, where you're deconstructing your faith or you never had a faith, but you are a spiritual person, being in prayer, being in meditation doesn't have to look the way that you think it does. It can be completely authentic, and it needs to be completely authentic to you. The reason why you're here is probably because you're seeking deeper connection in your relationship. So I just want to encourage you that it's going to be awkward, and that's okay. In the beginning, when you're trying to rebuild that trust and intimacy with each other, there's going to be resistance. There's going to be maybe resentment, maybe anger, maybe things will come up. But don't let that stop you, because having this time, this dedicated time to soften, this is what's happening. Your hearts are softening, your bodies are softening, your spirits are softening. And you don't have to wait until things are perfect. In fact, do not wait until things are perfect.
Yeah, there's not going to be the right time to start. Time to start is now.
If you have a partner who's willing, that is a blessing in and of itself. That mutuality is everything, and that is a gift. If you are married in a committed relationship, it is such a gift to have a partner who's willing to meet you in these places and just to give it a go. Give it this and see where you end up.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this all the way to the end. We really appreciate that. If you've gotten any value out of this, please like this video and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions about some of the things that we talked about, I know prayer seems amorphous. What the hell is prayer? I'd love to answer those questions. You can leave a comment. You can reach out to me. If there's anything else you need, there's links down below on some resources that I offer, and I'm happy to connect with you in any way. Until then, everybody, go give this a shot. Keep fighting the good fight. Be willing to do whatever it takes to heal yourself and heal your marriage. Until then, grace and peace, everybody.
Grace and peace.
Bye-bye.